Hello and welcome to another Top StarCraft broadcast. I am Cold, I'm the voice of Top StarCraft, and I am bringing you guys a new game from a new location and a new dorm room. I'm super excited to be back casting, guys. Thank you for waiting. I was home for the summer and my internet was absolutely terrible. I couldn't upload videos, I could barely download things, and it was very, very sad. But I'll give you a little sneak peek here while I was talking a little bit about myself. Our first player spawning in the top right position as the red Zerg is going to be Complexity MVP's DongRaeGu, DRG as he is affectionately known, one of the most popular Zergs on the scene today. He's a very, very powerful Korean player. Going up against the blue Protoss spawning in that bottom left position, LiquidHerO. Pretty much a fan favorite. He's very funny. He has had pumpkin colored hair for a while. It was orange, and it was ridiculous. But he's also a very, very good Korean player. Recently joining Team Liquid after being on OGS for just a little while. I guess you call him a fan favorite. One of those guys who's just very popular. Everybody likes to watch him. This replay coming to you guys from IPL Fight Club. It's the third game in the series between DRG and Hero. And I heard it was a pretty good game, some pretty epic back and forth battles. So we'll see how this works out. Looks like Hero is going to be going for a forward fast expanse. Probably the only reason you dropped this pylon right here. There we go. There's the forge coming down. And DRG doing the pretty much normal Zerg thing, making drones. Actually, we do see a spawning pool coming down from DRG, so we might know that something is up. Possibly want to make sure there are no cannons at his natural or his third, but also just to dissuade any kind of sneakiness. There we go. Actually, Hero dropping that pylon, going to try to block that natural for DRG. Who's not going to be a happy camper. The drone gets zapped just one time, which is actually a very big deal when the two are fighting. And DRG actually looking like he's going to try to take this third. Instead, doesn't really want to allow this probe to deny his expansion. We do see the pylon is finished. So there's definitely not... Oh, Hero actually blocking again with another pylon. The worst news for DRG. Luckily, he did go pool first, so he's going to be able to pop out some Zerglings to eventually deal with this, but he's got to be careful, actually, because this drone could die to the probe. As probe shields regenerate, and drones, they slowly heal themselves, but not nearly as efficiently as our probes do. Hero going to be doing the most normal thing ever. It's going to be a Nexus after Forge expansion. And pretty much it's safe at this point. He does see some Zerglings on the way, so he knows what's up, but he's going to wall it in with a gateway right here. So this 3-building wall going to be tight, Zergling proof, which is a good thing. Looks like Hero is going to drop another gateway, actually, and deny this just a little bit longer. I guess it makes sense. He wants to deny it, keep DRG from getting that expo as long as possible. Gateway's built kind of fast, I guess. There we go. Finally cancels that gateway. And the hatchery does go down. This probe's going to be very, very careful. Another probe actually sneaking around here from Hero. I don't know what he's going to do. The probe trying to get out of harm's way. I don't think he'll make it, though. His Zerglings are just a wee bit faster than our probe friend. Get close to water. Goodness, I've been casting quite a while, and my voice is going to totally die on you guys if I do not keep drinking water. The simulator's going down here for Hero, dropping that Cyber Core as well. I really like getting the Cyber Core after the first assimilator. I know some people are like, oh, why do you need gas? You know, just drop them all at once. But this early assimilator, before you even think about a Cyber Core or another assimilator, is going to be very, very nice because you're going to be able to get a fast +1, maybe a probably +1 attack against Zerg, simply because it allows your Zealots to 2-shot Zerglings as opposed to taking 3 attacks to kill them, which actually makes a big difference. It's a little bit of overkill when they use that third attack because the Zergling has like 2 health left. So if you can actually just get that kill right off the bat, it's much, much better off. And we are going to see warp gates. There we go. Oh, no warp gate. A Stalker, in fact, and the Forge getting that plus weapons like I was talking about. So warp gate going to be a little bit delayed here for Hero, but to be honest, he doesn't really need it. He doesn't need to be put on the aggression. There we go. Warp gate is coming down now. Because he's got this expansion, he needs to really focus his chrono boost on getting lots of probes, and he's going to want to hold his map control with this early Zealot and Stalker. Going to try to scare away Zerglings, make sure that DRG isn't just taking a ridiculously fast fourth or only making drones. DRG is, I mean, he's pretty much only making drones. He's making 4 more Zerglings. But this little poke here from Hero is going to let him see, you know, how saturated this third base is. If there's any shenanigans, a bunch of roaches and stuff coming out, he needs to be very worried about. But that's clearly not the case, as we see Zerglings and drones, as well as queens, but they don't really count. It looks like Hero actually sneaking a probe, so that wall is not tight. Probe sneaking out here looks like he's headed down to the third base for Hero. Could be a proxy pylon. We'll have to keep an eye on him. But right now, DRG is holding that watchtower with his Zerglings, making sure no one destroys his base, and making lots of drones. Actually, there we go. Very fast third here from LiquidHerO. And it's a ballsy move, but I think it could really pay off here. He needs the economy. He doesn't want to let DRG just stay ahead. And as a Zerg, if Protoss is on 3 bases, you need to be on 4. Looks like we do have an engagement in the middle of the map. Pretty good micro here from Hero. Going to be doing lots of damage. That Zealot has only 1 kill. Not ideal. Honestly, it didn't really pay for itself. It was an even trade here for DRG, which is never a good thing if you are Protoss. You want to be very cost efficient because units are very expensive. And DRG can afford to throw away Zerglings. They're just not that important. Especially because he's droning it behind me. Look at this huge drone saturation. Checking that unit's tab, we see 55 drones to 41 probes. So a 14 worker lead. That's pretty significant. And looks like we may see a queen moving out here. Going to be spreading that creep. I thought it was a drone, but it was not. I was a little disappointed. That Stalker paying for itself. Now 7 kills. Definitely doing work. And that's partially a result that DRG does not even have Zergling speed yet. We see it's about a third of the way done. And 8 minutes is generally not the time you want to be getting Zergling speed. There goes the Spire coming down, so we probably are going to see Mutalisks here. I actually do not like mutas on this map. I feel like you can't really bounce behind the base. There's just not a lot of room over here around these corners. You can kind of abuse this cliff a little bit. You see it's Hero can't see up there. DRG's Overlord is actually safe just because of how vision works. These cliffs are very, very potent. But you can harass this third base, and if you try to scoot into this main, Blink Stalkers can blink right up here, and it's just not that mobile. You're not able to really abuse the mobility of these Mutalisks like I would like to on a map like, I don't know, Delta Quadrant was a good one for mutas. What are some newer maps that use them? Even, I don't know, even a map like Zelnaga Caverns, there's a lot of room around the outside where you can move around, abuse that big open space, and catch your opponent out of position. That Zealot actually very well positioned over here. So that Zerglings have a very tough time killing him. I see the +2 armor, or +1 armor is just finishing, and Immortals are coming out here for Hero. So just looking like a Mortal Sentry Zealot for right now. Is getting that Twilight Council. There it is. Twilight Council coming down for Hero. And it's going to be interesting to see DRG is in fact making Mutalisks. We see 7 Mutalisks on the way, as well as the Glial Reconstitution, which is Roach Speed, coming out. As well as a 4th base for DRG. So he's feeling pretty good. He knows, ooh, Zealot, let's see how many kills he's going to get. 2, 3, 4. 4 kills on the Zealot, so he ends up paying for himself against an overwhelming army of Zerglings, which is always a good thing if you are Protoss. More gateways coming for Hero. He's got a grand total of 5 now, which I still don't feel like is enough, especially with these counterattacks from DRG, looking like he's going to scoot into that 3rd base. A whole position micro here, but actually a great force field here from Hero, going to pin a lot of Zerglings in. Makes it a pretty bad day if you are DRG Zergling. Here come the mutas at the same time, going to hop right over that ridge, and looks like, oh no, unpredicted probe line. No, actually there are some Stalkers as well as a cannon here going to dissuade any sort of attacks. So like I was saying, these Mutalisks, they can't bounce from base to base like I would want them to. Now certainly they're very good, they're great for map control, and they can poke around here, they can poke around the 3rd, and they can get a little bit into this main. But for the most part, they're just not as efficient as they could be. When you see more gateways being added on, Blink being chronoed out, you have to get Blink as a Protoss when you're going against Mutalisks, just because you have to have the Stalkers in the right position, otherwise they'll do so much damage before you can walk over there, and then just fly away. Oh, poor little Observer gets picked up. But it actually looks like DRG wants to engage this really good force field, so from Hero going to hold off all those Zerglings. Watching that Mutalisk count dropping just a little bit. Blink Stalkers doing work on those Zerglings. Actually, Mutalisk not the best unit against Stalkers, especially when they do not have any armor upgrades. They are light, so they don't take the bonus damage from the armored, but it's still pretty potent. Warpins coming here from LiquidHerO, trying to do a run by DRG. It looks like he's going to run right through the army. Where is he headed? All through the main, and actually looks like focus firing that Nexus. Will he get it? I don't know. It's going to be close. Big blink in from the Stalkers. DRG losing so many mutas here. Yes, he does get that Nexus, but at what cost? Wow. Nexus goes down, but DRG loses a ton of units. Almost all of his mutas are taken out. He does have the Zerglings remax, which is nice. But his muta flock is a pretty big investment. He needs to make sure he keeps that safe. Same time, Hero pushing out as DRG is moving into the third, trying to do some damage. But Archons, very, very strong against the Zerglings and the Mutalisks, actually. Big blink in from Hero, going to take out more and more mutas. Oh. I mean, looking at that workers killed tab, I think it's Shift R. Nope. Control R. There we go. We only see 3 workers killed for DRG. You cannot do that with Mutas. The only thing that's going right for him is because his muta harass has been so prolific, really. Hero's not being able to make a legitimate push. Protoss wants to push. With these upgrades, it looks like he has +3 weapons, so he should be 2-2 now. No, he's 2-1, but that +3 weapons on the way. He wants to be pushing while he has an upgrade advantage, and we see 2-0 Zerglings and 1-0 Mutalisks. You know, Heroes, this is the time where he needs to be pushing, but instead he's looking to grab this 4th base. I don't disagree, however, a 5th base coming down here for MVP's DRG. I don't disagree with the idea. Looks like we have some zealots moving around. Look like we're doing some harassment, possibly. The only problem is Hero does not really have the production. I mean, he's finally getting his gateway count up. He's got 6, 7, 9 gateways. But off 4 bases, you could easily support more gates, and he's not really getting these tech options. He is getting Templar from the Templar Archives, but he needs to be able to warp in like 15 Zealots and 6 Templar at a time if he wants to face this 5 base economy Zerg. And because his harassment is not really working, I mean, we see really no damage. Looks like a Spine Crawler took some harassment. Actually, a big Muta Club moving in. Because he hasn't done enough damage, you know, DRG's able to just kind of run around these mutas, having a field day. And, oh, big blink under him. A few mutas going down. 2 mutas went down in that engagement. But, man, lots of damage. Check that workers tab. Killed again. 5 workers, so 2 more workers killed. But a lot of cannons and pylons and these. Looks like some free units here for Hero going to be picked off. DRG going to be happy with that. It's going to be a big push. Actually, huge storms coming down on these Zerglings, doing all kinds of. Whoa, the Banelings all are decimated. Is it going to matter, though? I do not know. Hero's a huge Blink Stalker ball, and he needs to get it down there and defend that Nexus. Will he be able to? I do not think so. DRG backed off, and yes, he does get the Nexus. So DRG doing what DRG does best, killing bases, apparently, over and over and over again. We still don't see any saturation here at the 5th for DRG, but he doesn't really need it. He's got, I would say, 3 bases still mining, a little bit left here at his main. And Hero needs to be taking advantage of this opportunity to push what looks like big things coming on the way. Greater Spire, as well as a bunch of Zerglings, and +2 armor, which is something that I've been talking about earlier. He needs these armor upgrades just as much as Protoss needs his attack upgrades to keep these Zerglings alive, keep the Banelings alive, keep especially his more expensive Roaches, which will be coming, I assume, later, as you got that Roach Warren and the Glial Reconstitution, and there's no reason to get those unless you're making some Roaches. And Hero pushing in, looking to do some damage. He's going to take out these building Spine Crawlers here. I can say my counterattack into the natural of Hero. DRG looking to do as much damage as possible. Hero actually pulling back off that attack. Yeah, Mutalisks are strong when there's lots of them. And it looks like Hero's Stalker count being decimated. The Nexus is vulnerable. Will he be able to take it out? No, it doesn't look like it because mutas do bad damage to everything. It's not worth losing mutas. Blink and and some more mutas go down, so a big loss. At the same time, though, a counterattack coming here at the 4th for LiquidHerO. But luckily, Warpins are strong, along with some reinforcing Templar, Immortals. Wow, that one was 19 kills. What a boss. Okay, we're going to keep an eye on him, because he's my favorite. 20 kills. Looks like Hero kind of at a loss. What to do is cleared out some of these creep tumors in the middle of the map. Our 20 kill Immortal. How about this guy? He's got 14. He's good, too. So yeah, Immortals paying their weight in gold here. We do see DRG starting to mix in those infestors, And it's very important that Infestor, Corruptors, and eventually Broodlords, as we see 6 Broodlords morphing in. Where are they? Broodlords, where art thou? I cannot find you. Broodlords. Maybe I'm just seeing things. No, there they are. There's the Broodlords. Okay, guys, Broodlords on the way. 6 Broodlords are out on the field. And looking like a counterattack here. Going to be thwarted. DRG, not going to be happy. Taking free damage to his Mutalisk. And here's a ton of Blink Stalkers. I really think he needs the Mothership, though. Pretty much, in my opinion, the best way to deal with the Broodlords is just to Vortex them, drop some Archons in there, and let your army clean up the other half. The Infestor Zergling Baneling is not that strong by itself. You need the Broodlords. And if they get Vortexed, they're in a lot of trouble. You can clear out the rest of the stuff. Maybe a few Fungals are going to hit you, and that's going to be a problem. But for the most part, a lot of the DPS is gone from that army, especially for a few Money Storms. It looks like a big engagement, though, is on the way at this 4th base, and Hero must hold this base. I do not know if he's going to be able to. Does DRG laying down a protective barrier here? A big blink, and here come the storms. Is it going to be enough? That storm's kind of missing out. I don't know if it was worth it. DRG pushing forward. There's the storm. Beautiful storm coming out on top of all those Broodlords. Big Money Storms killing all kinds of Zerg units. Is it going to be enough? The Broodlords are very, very strong, guys. And they are continuing to push. Big reinforcements coming back from both players. A blink in. How many Broodlords do we have left? 5, 4, 3. 2 Broodlords left. Are they going to go down? Yes, 1 Broodlord. The last Broodlord falls. A big fungal coming out on the last of these Stalkers from here, but reinforcing Zerglings is going to doing their job. Our Immortals are at 41 and 36 kills apiece. I'd like you guys to know it. Oh no! 37, 44. Keep fighting. Immortal Whiting. The Immortal will survive with 46 kills. Storm coming down on these Zerglings trying to protect the Templar. Not going to happen. Just massive waves of Zerglings coming in here for DRG. And the 52 kill Immortal does in fact fall. Looks like actually DRG is going to be able to take out this 4th base from Hero, and that is going to be devastating for our Protoss player. He needs this base up. I mean, his natural almost mined out. His main pretty much gone. And his 3rd is getting dangerously low too. He needs that 4th base. Roach is coming out here for DRG, going to be kiting these Zealots for days and days. Probes getting taken out for free, never a good thing. And man, DRG playing so strong right now. Grabbing this, what is that, 6th base over here on this right side. Looks like he'd have to cancel that 5th over on the left. As Hero's periodically been harassing it with some Zealots. I'm actually a little surprised we don't see 1 or 2 Stalkers up here on the high ground kind of poking away at these drones. But DRG in such a commanding position. We do see more Archons being morphed in, as well as the robotics facility, as well as the robot facility. No, the robotics facility, making more and more Archons just so strong. Look at that splash damage against the Zerglings, like we've been seeing. However, it looks like a transition into more hefty units. Looks like it's going to be Roaches, as well as the Corruptor Broodlord. Another hatchery coming down here is actually going to be protected for once by the Roaches. For DRG, that is his 7th base. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, seven bases for DRG. Looks like a little Roach run by going to be made an attempt. Hero with the force field going to block off those 2 Roaches. And oh, look at this, a great block here with these Zealots. Going to take out both these 2 Roaches. 3 more just headed into the 3rd. Not going to do a ton of damage. Probably get 1 or 2 probe kills. There goes 1 probe down. And the 2nd and the 3rd probe. Looks like 4 probes are going to fall before the Roaches are finally taken out. And the Archons here for Hero doing what they do best. Derping around, getting in the way. The problem here is DRG is starting to get these spine crawler walls. He's getting all these Broodlords. In fact, lots of Broodlords. What is that? 12 Broodlords along with some Infestors. It's going to be very hard to push in on one of the bases. More Broodlords, actually. Goodness gracious. That's going to be a ton of Broodlords. That is going to be 15 Broodlords out on the field. So Chitinous Plating actually being upgraded. Looks like we are going to see Ultralisks at some point if the game keeps going. I don't know. This is so many Broods pushing in on this 4th base of Hero. Hero actually looking to take out the 7th base. There we go. DRG's hatchery does fall. But what is going to happen? Uh-oh, I heard a feedback just before the Templar died. This is going to be the spot to be, guys. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. Tons of brilliance. This is ridiculous. Actually, attack from behind here. Hero looking to pincer these Zerg units in. Is it going to be a pretty good storms coming down here? Zealots trying to tank the damage. I just don't know. Big blink under. Fungals over all the Stalkers on Zerglings trying to clean up. Is it going to be enough from Hero? It does not look like it. So strong, DRG. These Broodlords going to be alive forever, and there's just nothing left from Hero. He does drop a Broodlord, but no, GG is called. So DRG wins, guys. Woo! So, what have we learned today, kids, is killing Nexuses are really, really obnoxious if you are a Protoss player. We do see, it looks like one DT is over here doing some harassment, but it's just, Hero never was able to secure the economy he needed to hold off the constant aggression from DRG. Normally, if you're a Protoss player and you have the bases you need, if you have that income, you can kind of build up this really strong army and push through, win a battle, a big fight, you know, against this kind of tiny weakling Zerg army, and then continue the push, keep warping units, and really do a lot of damage. But Hero is never able to do that. When we see these bases were up forever and were never punished, never really attacked, and DRG was able to happily, sit on his macro, continuously throwing units into good positions, counterattacking, keeping Hero in his base, and it eventually pays off. Hero is completely mined out at all bases except for this new one, but his supply just plummeted after that last fight. Broodlord and Fester being so very strong. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Once again, I'm going to be casting. I am back in school. It means my internet is fast. I can upload videos. I can respond to comments. So I hope you guys enjoy. If there's things you want to see, maybe a replay that you think is really cool, shoot me an email or just hit me up on YouTube, guys. Thank you for watching. Once again, I'm Cold. I'm the voice of Top StarCraft, and I am signing out.